well, my background, like you said, is as a songwriter, and that, again, you see, it's so interesting because when you're young and you're in an industry, your goal is to be successful in that industry, and so you find out what it is you have to do to fit in, to get your foot in the door, and then to claim your ground, and then to stay there, right? Because once you get there, it's not over. You got to stay there.
No,
Because
and then there's a new flavor of the month
it's like going out of the way. Somebody else isn't here, and you now, like, we want a new her. We don't want you anymore. You're too old. You're out. So in the music business, you're only as good as the last record you were on, the last artist, who cut your song, and it's really competitive. And again, I saw myself through my success in the music business. It wasn't about me. It was about what record was I on. That determined how I felt about myself. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. And were you? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So anyway, and if I didn't get on the next Tina Turner record, I mean, I went into therapy for 10 years. And I'm not kidding. No, I was on a Michael Jackson, on the Thriller album, and 2 weeks before they pressed the album, I got kicked off the record, and because I wouldn't give up the publishing to the to Warner Brothers, I hope I can say that, but I wouldn't. Okay. And anyway, so no, it was almost like, well, you do this, and I wasn't gonna sacrifice my career and like what were my future prospects. I also had been told I was the first single off the record, so I thought, well, I got a little inside knowledge here. I don't have to worry. Well, business is business, and 2 weeks later, I found out that I wasn't on the record anymore, and that did send me into therapy for 10 years. It's one of the songs that people talk about, the tracks that were recorded for Thriller, the unheard tracks. Well, I'm one of them. The song is called She's Trouble. And anyway, so, yeah, that was like crushing for my self-esteem, and I picked myself up slowly. I peeled myself off the ground, having been steamrollered over, and reinvented myself. Picked myself up, and then found that as God, thank you, would have it, I was pregnant, the miracle baby. Miracle in the sense that was never supposed to be able to get pregnant, had all kinds of things wrong, couldn't hold a fertilized egg, I'm allergic to sperm, go figure, everything you can think of. And then my mother had a stroke, and I thought I was having a nervous breakdown, and I found out that I was pregnant for the first time. Go figure. Too old, under the worst stress in the world, can't have a baby, can't do this, will never have that, and here I am. I'm the only mother I know who had no complications. I was as big as a house. I gave birth to almost a 10-pound baby, okay? That's how healthy he was. And so that redefined who I was. And when he was born, I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm at the top of my game here in the music business. I'm writing with this one. I'm writing for that one. I've got all this stuff going on. How could I have this interruption in my life? Because I never held a baby, even held a baby. And then this kid was born, and it was like God sprinkled fairy dust all over my head. And I didn't want to work anymore. I quit. I mean, stopped. I didn't even know how to change a diaper. But now instantly I'm a mother. Right. And I have to say, best job in the world. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a manual, but I figured that one out by trial and error. And then when, the hardest part has been, now that he's out of the house and he's a man, having to redefine myself yet again. And we all,
this is what happens. Right.